Welcome to Hammer and Nails with Skip and Alison Bedell.
Is this thing on? Is it working?
Yeah, it's on. Say something interesting.
All right. Well, this is interesting. I'm Skip Bedell.
I'm Alison Bedell.
And we are Hammer and Nails Podcast. Want to welcome you guys back. And here we are again on Friday, fresh back from Milwaukee, no less.
You know my favorite song?
What's that?
Friday.
Oh, yeah.
There's a whole section of that song that completely doesn't sound like that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like the only section I know, I think. They just,
I know.
It's like on a loop in my brain.
Yeah. If I heard the other section without that part, I wouldn't even know it was that song.
Yeah. What an awesome time we just got back from, right? How cool was that?
Yep.
We have a lot to tell you guys about.
3 days, 3 past days, we're in Wisconsin. But first, we want to remind you, we have hammerandnailspodcast.com is our website. You can listen to the podcast there. You can also see the episode summaries and any pictures that we're going to post that we talk about.
Not the naked ones, though.
Which includes the one I'm going to post from the trip that we just had. And I'm on this particular episode summary. But most importantly, we also have our Amazon banner at the top of our website. Please, 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 please. Please.
Is there one more please in there?
Please click on the Amazon banner on our website. And if you shop on Amazon, which I know everybody does, just click on our banner first and you will get nothing different other than you'll be helping us out a whole lot. We get a teeny, tiny little fraction of a commission for referring you to Amazon, and it helps us pay towards the cost of the podcast.
Not to mention, if you guys aren't on Prime, you got to get with the program, man, because we're talking like, was it next day shipping or 2 days shipping?
Free 2-day shipping, people. Now, I've used Amazon for over a decade, but I didn't always have Prime because it costs $100 a year, and I was like, cheap, basically, why I didn't do it. But then I signed up for it because I saw that they also had free streaming movies that are included with Prime and also like unlimited music.
Right.
So I signed up for it, and it also includes free 2-day shipping. And when you calculate how many times you order something each year and the cost of that, you save money. You end up saving a shit ton of money. It's just a better deal.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And think about, and I'm talking like huge, gigantic things even, like that are very heavy. Anything.
I've gotten like giant truck parts for my dually. I mean, like huge things like speakers and like sound equipment and like giant boxes that show up on the front porch. They like wheel in with a dolly and a couple of guys carry this thing.
Yep, and it's free 2-day.
Free shipping.
Yeah,
yep.
and in 2
you can't
days.
Beat that.
Sometimes I even get it in 1 day if it happens to just land that way, and it's really awesome. And what's really cool about that, though, is that when you look on Amazon and you want to buy something, and there's usually multiple sellers selling the same thing, but you can see which one is included in Amazon Prime, and you can get the same thing, usually cheaper when it's sold by Amazon.
Right.
And then for the free shipping. It's like you cannot lose with that deal. Especially, think about it, 365 days a year. I get grocery stuff on there like food. I get our ass wipes on there. I get all.
That's a giant box just in itself.
Yes. Every 2 months I got it on Subscribe and Save. I do Subscribe and Save. Do you know that if you have 5 things on Subscribe and Save, it's 15% off of the total cost. If you have 3 things, I think you save 5%. Up to 3, I think is 5%. 5 things, 15% off.
Right.
So it's shit that you regularly, like I'm never going to stop wiping my ass. So I will continue to have those coming every 2 months.
Thanks for sharing that with all of us. We really appreciate that.
I'm just saying it's logical. Sometimes people buy things one at a time in the grocery store. Like when we go to like BJ's, we buy the 25 pack of toilet paper.
Right.
Same thing. It's like, there's some things that you're just always going to want, whether it be like rice or something, or my face cream that I order on Amazon. And it comes every few months because that way I don't have to even think about going out to shop for
I love
it.
that you're talking about face cream and ass wipes all in the same sentence.
Because it's something that will be infinite.
Yeah.
Are you going to stop wiping your ass?
No.
You know why? Because I ordered the goddamn wipes.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, so what do we got going on here? There's like so much to talk about. Lots of good stuff we did this week.
Yeah, it seemed like it took a week, but it was actually, we were only there like 2 days and left on the 3rd.
It did go kind of quick, but I got to say Milwaukee Tools out in Milwaukee is where their headquarters is. And, like they've been around forever. They've been around for just a million years, and they make the best tools in the marketplace, just known for super quality, super durability. I've had their tools for many, many years. But when we got out to that plant, we saw what's really going on in this place.
You learned a lot that you didn't know.
Yeah, it was a really cool tour because, like, the first day we kind of met, like, all the directors and CEOs and big people of the company. And you get to go on, like, kind of a guided tour throughout the whole facility. I mean, it's like a giant campus. This place is just massive, the operation that they have there, from the R&D departments and engineering and all the new products that they're making and prototypes that they're making. They're constantly spitting out prototypes. Like right now as we speak, they're making new things that are going to be made, you know, on the line for next year and constantly adding new products. So it's really cool to see that process, but just to see like the technology of what they got going on in their manufacturing, all the robotics and like how they can just like mass produce these tools at such high levels of quality, and they build most of them here in the United States, was a big deal too. So I was very impressed with the whole operation.
Yeah, and while I wasn't paying attention to that stuff, I was really liking the hotel that they put us up at.
The hotel was awesome. The hotel was it was actually the old, if you know Wisconsin, they're known for beer and cheese. Right. And the like.
They make Miller there, and
they make a couple of different beers. Yeah, but Miller is the big one there, and also Pabst. The building that we were in was the old Pabst brewery, and this thing has been around for like a century. And it was really cool. The architecture in this building was actually the old giant, like a city block of a building that they had converted into a hotel. But all of like the old steel structure, like the guts, the skeleton of the inside of the building, they kind of left, you know, a lot of that exposed so you could see it coming through the walls in the hotel room. And they still had like the giant copper kettles
unbelievable.
Where they brewed the beer in. That was like right down through the middle of the building. It was really amazing. And across the street was the old building that, if you guys have ever seen Laverne and Shirley back in the day, and you see them kind of like, you know, walking down the street and singing this song. What are these things?
Schlemiel Schlemazel, Haas and Pfeffer Incorporated.
Right. That building that you see was right across the street from where we were. Like that whole couple of blocks is all about like a brewery. And it's really like a lot of history there. And it was just such a cool building, like very like industrial, the whole place, right? Like our room just felt like we were in the middle of a factory kind of.
Yeah, it was. And it wasn't just a room. It was an apartment,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I've lived in places smaller than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a like full living room with a full kitchen and then a separate with French doors that led into a giant bedroom.
Yeah.
And the doors had glass that looked like
on the glass. It was a treatment like almost like an etched treatment, but colored to where it looked like you were looking through like a beer mug. So it was the color like an amber of beer, and it had all the little bubbles and like the foam at the top.
Yeah.
So that was the glass doors that went through into the sleeping chamber, like the master bedroom area.
Yeah.
With like these two glass doors that looked like beer mugs.
It was
just very cool.
No, I couldn't believe when we walked in there, and just everything was like that. There was that spiral staircase near the copper thing.
Yeah, we took a lot of good pictures. We're going to post some of them on the website.
We didn't get a picture of that staircase.
I got plenty of pictures of a lot of the architecture in there, and also the giant copper kettles that went through the middle of the place. It was the
coolest. It was so unique. Like you can't just put a hotel like that anywhere. It was, because it's original and really, really, really old,
a lot
and
of
it was
concrete
amazing.
And steel, like the walls in the rooms were concrete, which is good for soundproofing as well, because we make a lot of noise when we're in there.
What?
Do you remember that time we were in that one hotel and the management came up and knocked on the door because like someone must have heard us and like complained? There was like they thought something was going on, like somebody was getting killed.
No, I remember
somebody was getting murdered.
When we were staying in Venice. No, it was when we were living in the apartment in Venice, and the management office called on the phone because that bitch underneath us with the baby called and complained.
They thought someone was getting killed up there or something.
No, because she was the one who was yelling out the door to everybody to be quiet because she had a baby. Yeah. Like, fuck you. Yeah, move, bitch.
You can tend to be a little bit loud sometimes. So the concrete,
it's your fault.
It is my fault. You're right. And I like it.
Well, then shut the fuck up.
But the concrete walls in this place actually was good for that purpose because, we just... You were, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
There was lots of noise. And nobody knocked on the door.
So listen to this. This is really cool. When we were about to get Milo, Skip was like, maybe we should wait because we have to go on this trip and we're not taking him with us. And
Does everybody know who Milo is? I'm assuming, right?
If they listen to the last episode. Milo is our new Chihuahua puppy.
Who is 1.5 pounds. He's the size of pretty much like the palm of my hand.
And he's 8 weeks old. And Skip said that if we were to get him, he cannot come because if we take him, then it's going to be about him and not about the trip. And we need to find somebody to watch him, or maybe we should wait to get him.
We're going to Milwaukee Tools, and it's like there's a lot to see and a lot to do, and they're bringing us out there for this big tour. And it's like, I want to focus on why we're going there. We're going to go shake hands and meet the big people of this company, and I'm thinking endorsements and all kinds of things, and I don't want it to be about the puppy.
Right. So,
not to mention, anywhere you go with a puppy, it's like, it's a total magnet. Everyone's like, oh my God, what is that?
Right. Yeah. So I had sent a text to Skip's sister that said 2 things. First thing is, we might be getting a new puppy tomorrow. This was last week. And the next thing is that I forgot to tell you we're going away for a few days next week, and if you can watch the dogs.
Oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
So she wrote back of course, or no problem, whatever. So then we saw her on Sunday for dinner, family dinner, and I brought it up to her we got, because we brought the puppy with us on Sunday, and so you're okay with, watching the baby too? And she had a look on her.
No, I said it to her.
I said it to her before you.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Outside.
Because when I was talking to her...
I know. Dad came outside and told me, he's like, Skip's talking to her about the puppy, and you better go over there.
Well, it would have been good if somebody told me, because I felt like a fucking retard.
Well, so did I when she looked at me what are you talking about?
So, yeah, because by then, everyone's all, all day, we're spending together, and oh my God, the puppy's so cute, blah, blah, blah. We're having fun with the puppy, and the puppy. So I'm like, so it's cool that you're going to get to spend some time with him, right? So you're gonna watch him and everything. And she's looking at me like, yeah, about that. And I'm like she didn't really know.
You opened your mouth before I got to tell you that
It almost seemed like she didn't know what I was talking about. And I'm like, uh-oh. And we're leaving the next day.
Yeah. So she apparently, I guess, misunderstood what I was trying to ask her in that text by first mentioning the puppy and then asking her to watch the dogs. The puppy being a dog.
You didn't include in there in very plain English, like with the puppy too?
I thought it would be assumed.
See what happens when you assume?
I make an ass out of you.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yes, you did. Because I was like, so you're going to watch the puppy and all the other dogs and everybody? She's like, what?
So then and plus she also might not have been able to watch the dogs either because of the situation with her landlord. So anyway, then I asked Dad if he could at his place, and he's like, well, how am I going to do that? And I said, just keep him in his pen, it'll be good. And he was like, Dad was okay if we needed it, he would have done it. Right. But the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, this is fucking crazy. I took Kilo everywhere. This little baby is just like, he needs consistency.
This is also why I told you when we went to go to the adoption place, the foster people that had the dog, we can go and see him, but let's pick him up next week, a few more days where he is not going to hurt him. And then we don't have to deal with any of this. And we don't have to put the burden on anybody, and we'll just go on our trip and do our thing.
Yeah.
But you had to have him right now.
Right. And it was better that way. We got to spend the weekend with him and him get used to us, and he needs to start learning and have consistency sooner than later.
Yeah.
So
anyway, all I can say is you got really lucky because he behaved very well.
Yeah. Again, you shot my load.
Yeah.
You shot my load.
I didn't. Go
ahead.
ahead.
You shot my load. You love to. Before I even get the words out, you always do it. You always do it.
What is with your phone?
I can't help it. It's your mother.
No, just turn the volume down so it doesn't vibrate like that.
The vibration doesn't have volume.
Yeah, it lessens it. Yes, it does.
All right. Anyway, so I put the baby into a carrying bag, like a soft-sided one. I called the airline, and I added him as my emotional support pet since I've already got the letter. And we took him on the plane, and he was ridiculously well-behaved. He was just quiet in his bag. He was calm, and he played with his toys. I took him into the bathroom, and this is amazing. Our little boy is a genius. I take the seat covers, and I put them on the floor, a whole bunch of them. He pees on it right away. He knows what to do, and he pooped on the floor in the bathroom, in the stall, right away. So he was easy in the bathroom. He stayed quiet in his bag. He slept through the whole trip. I took him on the all-day-long tour at the Milwaukee Symposium.
Yeah.
Nobody even knew he was there. He didn't make a peep.
So just to explain, you have a what looks to be like a pocketbook, because he, again, is 1.5 pounds. And he's tiny. You can put him in your hand.
Your shits are bigger than the dog.
Way bigger. and way more, too.
And we know that as a fact because he weighs himself before and after he takes a shit.
I do. Evidently, they average somewhere between like 1.5 pounds and 3 pounds.
You've lost 5 pounds before.
Well, no, not at once, but like in a morning after 2 or 3.
Yeah.
That's like a multi dump. That's not a mono dump. That would be a multi dump. Yeah. All right, so the dog turns out to be just amazing, right? He's in this little pocketbook, which you wouldn't know. It just looks like an ordinary pocketbook, but it has like some mesh woven into it on the sides, which you don't even really notice either. And he did not make a sound all day. The whole flight, everything, not a sound.
Even in the hotel room.
Yeah,
he was so good. He played, and I put pads down in a section of the room.
Didn't even move. He just slept the whole time. He was basically like Kilo was like a veteran of travel. That dog had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of miles of travel under his belt over many years.
Yep.
Planes, motorcycles. What else?
Trains,
boats. I mean, that dog has traveled everywhere on everything.
Yes, he has.
And was really, and didn't make it. You would never even know he was in the bag.
Perfect.
And here comes little baby Milo, 7 weeks old, and just following right in his footsteps. I couldn't even believe it.
I know.
I'm freaking going to be puppy crazy,
Yep.
Barking and crying, and I want out of the bag and going fucking nuts. And he was awesome.
He was perfect. And then I put pads on the floor, the puppy pads in the hotel room. He went to them on his own to pee and poop.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He sought them out and used them. It was unbelievable.
So, yeah, I think overall it worked out good. I think that we got lucky because, obviously puppies are a lot of work. You got to be with them all the time, and it's like leaving, it's like bringing a baby with you. You know, they're gonna make noise. They need constant attention.
Well, this was quite a relief.
This dog travels for hours at a time. He went on that tour, which was an all day,
all fucking day.
I was shot by the end of that tour.
Yeah, we got there at like 7 in the morning. The bus picks us up at 6:45 at the hotel. We got at 7 o'clock in the morning to the symposium.
We got back at 7 o'clock at night.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, it was
my God.
It was basically an all-day multi-workshop. I think it was 5 different sections that you go to with about an hour in each one, and then, some breaks in between and lunch and all that.
Yeah.
But all on everything you can imagine, from the battery technology to the motors to like how the electronics work to everything about these tools that you could possibly imagine. And he actually did better than we did because I was like pretty much toast by about 3/4 of the way through.
I wanted to climb into his bag with him and take a nap. I desperately needed a nap.
We got yelled at one point, right?
We did. Yeah. We got in trouble by the principal.
By the principal, yeah. The CEO of the company, Steve, the big dude, he we took a little break. We walked out of one of the not classrooms, but one of the rooms. Well, actually, what they did was, which is really cool too. Right there in the city of Milwaukee, they rented out this giant building. It was like a 3-story building. It was like 40 or 50,000 square feet. Of all Milwaukee, spread over 3 floors, and it was an old building, very much like the one we were staying at.
It said hardware down the front of it.
It used to be an old Ace Hardware, a 40,000 square foot, 3-floor Ace Hardware store. So it was like this old warehouse, style building that they had cleaned out the whole building, and they set it up just for this presentation. So they brought in like generators and everything. And they powered up this old building, and you would never know. I mean, how the whole place like decorated like Milwaukee.
They went like all out, like the way that they had these displays made and the graphics and everything.
Picture if you went to like a trade show, like a convention center, where where these big companies have these massive trade show presentation booths and stages and all the big backdrops and all the banners and basically it was 3 floors, 40,000 square feet of that.
Of just Milwaukee
and
stuff,
every single tool you could, I mean, really.
And not even all their tools. I mean, this was just the newer stuff that was coming out.
They put on some presentation. I can't imagine what it cost and the work that went into putting together this thing, this 3-day thing. And just the logistics. I mean, there was probably at least, I don't know, a couple hundred people there from around from around the world. I mean, most of which were in the States, but there were people from Canada, from Mexico, from Australia, from everywhere, and mostly like media, mostly like blog and magazine writers that that just write about tools and power tools and professional tradesmen and stuff like that. So all the guys that were there were either people like me that were pros in the industry, or there were people that write about these tools. So it was coming from a sales from a standpoint that like you need this stuff and you need to tell your readers and your followers and the people that use these tools why they are what they are, and the technology again was just mind blowing. I was
you wouldn't even have known about all of the specifics of all of these tools had they not told you all of this. It was just too much to even know to learn.
When they got into the one key stuff, so this is something that you guys, if you don't already know about, they had this new technology they broke out now called one key, and basically it's where they're pairing their tools to an app on your computer or your smartphone, which will allow you to track the tools. It'll allow you for the app to talk to the tool, that you can actually control the tool. You can have preset RPMs programmed into the tool for different type of work schedules. You can monitor, if you assign the tools to workers, you can monitor the usage of the tool. So say, for instance, you're sending out like 10 guys a day and they're all doing, a similar job. They're electricians, they're plumbers, and they're all getting pipe fitters or expandable PEX fitters or sawzalls or crimpers or whatever. The tools will actually keep count of how many times they've been used. They'll GPS locate where they are. So if the tools kind of walk off the job site, they get stolen.
Which is a very common thing.
Yeah, you can track the tools. I mean, like such super high tech being put into these tools, stuff that's just like mind blowing. And the technology is just the tip of the iceberg right now. What they're doing with these tools, this is just like the first layer of it. So
and they were very, very, very concerned about making the users happy. It seemed very user oriented as opposed to what else can we put out to just sell and make money.
Right. Well, they're smart. They build their tools based upon the feedback of people that use them. So like they had all of us there, they were asking for our constant comments and like
they wanted the negative feedback.
And tell us what you don't like about it. Tell us what we can do to improve it. And they really implement that because there are people that have been going to this thing now. I think this was the 9th year. And they
kept saying, you asked for it, you got it.
Yeah, and like the year before, one guy said, it needs this, it needs a USB port, or it needs, and next year, like, here it is. Like, here's the new line, which, by the way, all the stuff that we saw, most of which are things that are being released, like, next month,
October,
through the end of the year, like July through the end of the year. So they're not even available, a lot of it, even in the stores yet. Yeah. So we got to really be, like, hands-on with all of this stuff before anybody even sees it, which was super exciting, too. Yeah. I mean, I was just, like, in tool heaven. It was like sensory overload for me. I didn't know what to do or where to look first.
Yeah.
I got like
well, there was so much information. It's like a lot of brain power you're using to pay attention to all of this information, because it was like they broke us all up into 6 groups and there were different areas. Yeah. So from this time to this time, the yellow group is going to be in this area and the blue group is in this area, and then at the next time change.
Yeah, you rotate.
Yeah,
so
rotating.
You get through the whole building.
It was a lot. So after lunch, we would then had the plumbing and electrical section, and they didn't have stools in this particular section. So I was standing, and I had eaten, and I was tired, and I needed to give Milo some water. So I stepped away, and I went to the middle area where they had the beverages, and we had tables to sit down because there was breakfast. And so I took like a little mental break and sat down. Next thing I know, Skip comes out, he goes to the bathroom and comes back. And then Kayleen comes out, she goes to the bathroom and comes back. And then Jeff comes out, and like next thing I know, our little posse is out at the table, not listening to the plumbing and electrical.
Like the CEO, the guy that flew us all out and put us up in the hotels, everything else, to come and sit through the seminars. Right. And he's like, oh, you guys take a little break? And I'm like, oh.
I know, it felt like an asshole.
I felt like the kid that got caught cutting class in the hall, you know?
I felt bad.
Yeah, but we scurried back in there with our tail between our legs. Sorry. No, but it was really, what a good time, man. They put on a great show.
We forgot to mention is because we were next door, right across from that building with the Laverne and Shirley, the Schlemiel and the Schlemazel. Do you happen to know what that is?
I have no idea.
They actually mean something. I think, is it Yiddish? Yeah, it's Yiddish.
It's Yiddish?
Yeah, well, as you could probably, I guess, assume from the way that the
Schlemiel and Schlemazel.
Yeah, they're two different things.
Okay.
A Schlemiel is known as a clumsy person, and the Schlemazel is usually known as an unlucky person. So where like a Schlemiel will trip and spill his drink, the Schlemazel is the guy that the drink fell on.
So what the hell does that have to do with Laverne and Shirley?
I have no fucking idea.
What?
But that's what they say at the beginning of the thing, of every, the intro.
Those are the words they use?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Schlemiel. Schlemazel.
Okay. Well, there is some very useless information that I did not have in my brain, and now I do, and I was wishing that I kind of didn't.
Yeah. I don't.
Is there any way I could purge that?
And Hassenpfeffer is a German stew. Uh-huh. And nobody knows why that little thing was said at the beginning of the show, I guess, other than the people who made the show.
Well, they were working at a brewery at the time of the commercial, when they were on the show, they were going to work together. So, like, was that the name of the company they were working at, like Hassenpfeffer Brewery or something, or
no?
Okay.
So yeah, don't know.
All right then.
Yeah. Just figured you might want to know in case you ever wondered what that meant.
And then the Fonz walked in and said, "Hey."
Not too often.
So once in a while he'd show up
once in a while, right? And everybody had a crush on him.
Right.
And there is in Milwaukee a bronze Fonz.
Oh yeah, there's a Fonz statue. That's like a big thing to do if you ever go to Milwaukee.
Go to the bronze
That's like
Fonz.
On one of the top 10 things to do for tourists. Go and take a picture with the bronze Fonz.
That is fucking funny.
Hey.
That's pretty cool, though.
Fonzarelli.
Yeah.
That's
Arthur.
Funny. Yeah, Arthur Fonzarelli.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny, though, whenever I think of the Fonz, and then, like, Henry Winkler is the Fonz, who's, like the Fonz is, like, the epitome of cool, and Henry Winkler is, like a nerdy old guy.
Jewy guy. Yeah.
Like, it's so funny that they chose Henry Winkler to be the Fonz.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you how casting works, right? Yeah, if you saw him in person, he's like a little guy, right?
And he's not particularly good looking.
Hey, the Fonz.
And you know what? In real life, he had an affair with the one who played Mrs. Cunningham.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So did Mrs. Brady and Greg.
What?
Yeah, they fucked too.
Wow. Greg, the son?
Yeah.
Fucked Mrs. Brady, the mom?
Yep.
Wow.
They were fucking for a while. Yep.
Who knew that? Wow. Okay, now there's some useless information that all right, you can keep that coming if you want.
Yeah, I love
no
that.
pun intended. Yeah, so really good time out there, man. We want to thank Milwaukee for bringing us out. You know what else was really cool? We got to meet a bunch of people that are like super interested in tools like I am and like we both are. And just a lot of cool guys. And a lot of these people actually like Instagram.
They have like a lot of Instagram followers.
They're like huge Instagram guys that all they do is like write about tools. They're like tool reviews and stuff like that. And there was a couple of Instagram sites in particular that if you guys want to check out and see some really cool like, workshop stuff and like wood projects and things like that. We met
tool reviews.
Tool reviews. One of them was Tool Pig. On Instagram, which had a great site.
The other one was Toolaholic.
Toolaholic also is well known in the Instagram world for reviewing tools. One dude that we met from Kruger Construction actually had a great site. He does some great projects also, and there was a couple of others too that I will put up on our website. It has some really cool Instagram sites that if you guys are into looking at pictures of tools and woodworking and shop stuff, you want to check these out.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously have a lot of followers for a reason because people like what they have to say. They provide some interesting information.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. It was nice. There was a lot of women there, which I was glad to see. I thought it was going to be like a big dick convention.
A big sausage fest?
Yes.
Well, it is Wisconsin. They do, like bratwurst is a big thing, and brats.
Yes.
Brats
And our friend,
beer.
Our friend Kayleen was there. She was the one who introduced us to this thing. You guys might have heard our interview with her, and we've spoke about her before.
Kayleen McCabe. Check out her site. She's awesome.
From Rescue Renovation.
She is the host of Rescue Renovation on the DIY Network, and just an all-around awesome chick.
Yeah, so we had a nice time with our DIY
and
Network
Jeff
friends.
Devlin, who has a show right now.
Stonehouse Revival.
Yeah,
It's on HGTV. It is so good. Is it on DIY or HGTV?
I think it's on DIY.
Is it? I don't know. But just look it up on your
Stonehouse Revival. Yeah, look it up. It's an awesome show.
It's a really good show. I'm not just saying it because he's our friend, but it's a really good show. He restores old historic houses. He lives in Pennsylvania. And it's just like if you guys are into that like rustic, original shit, like kind
old
of
farmhouses, reclaimed stuff, you know, like we like digs out the stone behind the drywall that was like once there like 150, 200 years ago, and like, you know, it
the
makes
floors. And
he really does. And he's very funny,
and
very
the decorating's
entertaining.
Amazing. He's funny.
Check out Jeff Devlin, also another good dude. And we met them along with a bunch of other great people up in Toronto at that Haas magazine photo shoot that we did a couple of years ago, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, do you know that magazine? If you guys didn't see that, that's on our website too. Look up Haas HOSS on our website. You'll see the magazine pages. That we were superheroes of home reno, and then there was the go-kart race. That was a fucking funny video. Listen, people, there's a really funny video on our website. It's the Haas at the races. Check that out because that was funny. The day after we did the photo shoot, we went to a professional go-kart racetrack and we raced professional go-karts. And Skip kicked everybody's ass and won. We did like a real official race on a racetrack.
That was a fun day.
That was a really fun day, and they made a funny video about it. It was very fucking cool.
Those things are crazy fast, and they like suited us up in like fire suits, like race suits, and the whole deal. We spent the whole day on that track just like kicking ass on go-karts.
Yeah. You know what I was just thinking about when I was taking your picture throughout this past past week? It reminded me of a pet peeve that you just keep doing this. You know how many pictures I had to delete because you were chewing gum while I'm trying to take your picture?
Yeah, I'm a chewer.
And your mouth is like half open or crooked and like
I'm a chewer. I like to have fresh breath, so I always have gum in my
mouth. Thank God for digital pictures, though, because if these weren't filmed, you would have ruined everything.
You know how many times on the set when we're filming Catch a Contractor, they were like, they had to remind me. Yeah, they had to remind me because like I'm constantly putting gum in my mouth, and that doesn't look too good on the camera.
No.
So I don't even realize that I do it. It's just like I just always am chewing.
So many pictures. Oh, my God.
Oh, well, what are you going to do? But I don't have funk breath. There you go. It's a trade-off.
Yeah, but your ass stinks.
Well, you can't have it all. I mean, you know, it's got to be stinky on one end or the other. You know, I mean, you choose. I don't know. I prefer to have it down there. Yeah, you don't have to kiss that, you know? Well, I mean, you could if you want.
Wow. You know, we have I have a couple of things that I had gotten on Facebook from some people that I thought were interesting topics that I just wanted to read to you because it was stuff that I've thought about as well.
Oh,
this one guy, Britton Hart, he had written that somebody had posted something about shoes and bare feet that made him wonder if he's the weird one. I put on my shoes when I get dressed in the morning, and they don't come off until I go to bed. To be fair, I'm a smoker and spend a lot of time outside, back and forth. Anyone in the house going outside without shoes makes me nuts. Am I crazy? Who are the people who kick off their shoes when they walk in the door, and who are the people that keep them on all day until they go to bed? So that just got me thinking because I'm also like a little bit, I don't walk around barefoot even in our own house or in socks.
You don't. I don't mind doing that, but you do. Yeah.
I don't like if I'm barefoot, I don't like getting shit stuck to my feet. And if I'm in socks, I don't like getting everything stuck to my socks.
Yeah, you're like a flip-flop or like...
Or slippers.
Yeah, something, yeah.
Yeah, like I do not want all this shit. I mean, it's like inevitable. There's stuff on the floor. And constantly, Minnie is constantly spitting up like clear fluid. So is Curly, the cat. Or if somebody gets like a dingleberry that lands on the ground, you know, it's like you're just going to step on it. You know, it's like...
That sounds really disgusting. That sounds like our floors are like disgusting.
They're not, but I'm saying it's...
Our house is like super clean, but we have hard floors everywhere. There's hardwood floors throughout the entire house.
Yeah, and if you don't, every once in a while, you will step into a little, like a spit puddle of, spit up or something. I don't know why Minnie throws up so much, but it's...
Because she's old and that's what like old dogs do.
You step in it...
It's better than stepping in like something else. At least they do that outside.
Yeah,
so thank God.
But still, like, and you know, I've never until I was with you have I seen somebody put a little floor mat, like the smaller bathroom mat next to the bed.
Well, yeah, I taught you that trick, which makes perfect sense because, like, if you have hardwood floors throughout your house, you can vacuum them every single day, but just from walking in and out of the house with shoes on, you bring things in on the bottom of your shoes, which is why a lot of people are like, no shoes in the house.
Yeah, because it's disgusting. You step on everything in the world outside, and then you bring that into your home.
Right, so even like little bits of sand or whatever, the finest little stuff, it doesn't have to be a pile of shit. It could just be like a little bit of dust or anything accumulates on the bottom of your shoes.
It could be bird shit.
And as you walk through the house,
caterpillar shit.
And the carpet, that's what's nasty about carpets, by the way.
Shit.
Because it just disappears into the carpet and it holds all the dirt, and smell and everything. But the hardwood floors, it'll just stay on the floor. So if you walk around in your bare feet, it kind of sticks to the bottom of your feet.
Gross.
And then if you get into your bed and you don't, like
so disgusting.
Yeah, have you ever gotten to a bed and it felt
sandy.
like sandy?
Oh, I hate that.
It's so nasty, right?
Yeah.
And your floors could be clean, man, but still,
every little thing sticks
if you have
to you.
hard floors, tile or hardwood floor, any type of hard surface floors, it's not like a carpet. That dust or whatever is going to settle on the floor. It's going to wind up on your feet. It's going to wind up in your bed.
Yeah.
So I have always had hard floors in my houses where I've lived, and I always put like a little type of bath mat, like a little like a little area rug on either side of the bed. So when you get in bed, the last thing you step on is that little rug. Well, it's not like you have to wipe your feet on it. You just kind of step on it as that's where you step.
So that's another reason why you can't expect everybody to take their shoes off when they come in. So they do leave them on, and then you have whatever had their shoe has touched, from a nasty puddle in a city street to, whatever, and now it's in your house.
Well, it's even worse when you have carpets because your carpet is like a giant
dirt magnets.
like a giant doormat. So if you wear your shoes through the house with carpet, it's pretty much like it's a doormat.
Yeah, unless you shampoo those things every week, people, they're dirt magnets. It's cooties.
Yeah, so any type of greasy residue or anything in the bottom of your shoe, if you walk around your house with carpet and you leave your shoes on, quickly that carpet is turning.
My mother had white carpets for 20 years.
Carpets.
Yeah, like different. Like she would renew. Like she'd get new carpets every 5-10 years or so. Right. But they were always a shade of eggshell. You're funny, idiot. They were always really light. You're an idiot. So everybody had to take off their shoes when you walk in the front door. We don't do that here, but my feet don't touch the floor regardless. I always have on flip-flops or slippers that I only wear in the house, and then shoes that I'll only wear outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just...
it's kind of funny when you go to someone's house as a guest and you don't know that that's what's going on, and then you get there and then you go dressed up, you're looking like you're wearing nice clothes, nice shoes, nice everything, and then oh, can you take your shoes off? And then the rest of the time you're there, you're walking around in your socks.
That was an episode,
or maybe bare feet if you didn't, if you were a woman and you had shoes.
And then you got that busted big toe like me with the nail. And you weren't planning on anybody seeing that shit. That was an episode on Sex and the City, and I fucking loved this episode. Carrie got invited to this, I think it was an engagement party, and Carrie was really big on, her outfits and shoes. She was a shoe addict. She always had very, very expensive shoes. So she wore this really fancy outfit to this engagement party, and when she got there, the woman told her that to take off her shoes. Everybody has to take off their shoes. And meanwhile, she spent a week shopping for these shoes for this party, and now the woman's telling her to take off her shoes, and she really didn't want to, but to conform, she had to. So she takes off her shoes and leaves them amongst all the shoes of the people that are there. And at the end of the party, her fucking shoes were missing.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Somebody stole her expensive shoes. Wow. And first of all, that fucking pisses me off, that when somebody asks you to do that, for everybody to take off their shoes, especially if you don't know that that's coming. Some people, their socks are total stinky cooties. And then if you got busted feet, if you wore sandals without stockings. Yeah, there's all kinds of scenarios. Your feet could be really fucked up, and you weren't planning on going without shoes in somebody's home. sometimes it's better to have shoes on your carpet than some people's nasty cheese feet.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like at least the shoe is, like this the bottom of the leather shoe or rubber or whatever, right? But like sometimes,
sweaty feet.
There are some feet that are not too.
Yeah, I don't know that I want strangers' feet on my floors. That's really, really nasty.
It's like, all right, either you have the shoe residue from whatever it was they walked in, or you got some toe jam and cheese.
Fuck. You know what? Have a party outside.
Yeah, that's why every party we have here is outside.
Yeah. Do you remember though?
With a porta potty.
with a fancy porta potty.
Right.
Do you remember though? Because we had our wedding party outside here, there were women who showed up in heels.
Yes.
And if you're not standing on the patio, you're standing on grass.
Yeah.
And everybody's heels sinks into the grass.
That's so funny. They're walking around on flats.
Yes. So not only are they putting big holes in the lawn,
that's
they're
actually
fucking their
good.
shoes
They're
out.
aerating the lawn, actually. It's not a bad thing. And then I go back the next day after the party and I seed. And it works out perfect for me because they do all the work.
But it also ruins shoes. It's really bad.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people that I'm sure have been to one of these outdoor parties and they just wore wrong shoes, not realizing, and their heels go right through.
It's hard to walk. I don't know how women wear like these super high pointy heels on an outdoor.
Funny coming from a guy who wants women to wear them only and all the time.
I love high heels on a woman. I think it's like magic what it does to a woman's figure. It just changes the whole shape, the whole posture, everything. But there are some high heels that are more practical for walking on grass than others. So you can also wear a high heel shoe that doesn't have a tiny spike little heel,
like
bottom to the heel. Yeah, something. You still get that.
Oh, and then you ended up with Birkenstock.
You still get jacked up. A good
Poor
6, 7, or 8 or 9 inches.
How
high? Like some of the highest ones you have, they're crazy high, right?
Yeah,
they're crazy high. Like your foot is basically vertical.
You're standing on your tiptoes like a ballerina.
Yeah,
it's unnatural and painful.
But it looks damn good though. But there are shoes that are not so pointy, like a wedgie type of.
I want to buy shoes that fit you. Women's heels, like borrow Caitlyn Jenner's shoes.
I'm not a woman.
I want you to see what it feels like.
I don't care what it feels like. I didn't say it fucking feels good. I'm not worried about that. That's what you're the girl wearing them. That if you're trying to look good in them, then some things you got to sacrifice.
Oh, I have to sacrifice.
Well, yeah.
Okay. All right there.
Yes.
Mr. Man.
It's all part of the plan. Yeah.
Your plan.
Yes, it's my plan.
I'm going back to wearing men's shoes.
No, don't do that. Oh, God. You were, too, when I first met you. You were wearing, like, some kind of, like, I don't even know what the hell they were. Some
Skechers.
Yeah. Some, what are those big boots that you had?
What boots?
I don't know. You wore them to work, like,
the big
Doc Martens or something.
Oh yeah, Doc Martens. Yeah.
Combat boots or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't care though. You look good in them anyway.
Aw, love you.
They all look the same on the floor. The end of the bed on the bedroom floor.
They were shoes that I bought to not wear on the floor at all.
Air shoes. I love air shoes. They're made to be held up in the air. That's it. They should never touch the ground. Yes.
They hurt even wearing them when you're not walking.
Yeah.
They hurt just to put them on.
They look good.
Oh, my God.
Like David Lee Roth said, no, leave them on, leave them on.
He did?
Yeah, in the shoes.
What?
One of his songs. I think it was Hot for Teacher or Jump or one of those songs.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of the song right now, but there's a part of the song that where he says that.
Oh. Well, there was another thing I saw on Facebook. Julie Lokes, I don't know how to pronounce it. She said her girlfriend and she went out to eat and they had leftovers. The waiter brought them containers to fill up themselves. She's a big tipper. Why is it my job to put the food in the box? Do I take money off the tip? And she said that, here's why I asked this question. I spilled my pho and was thinking I just made a mess for you. I told them about the mess but was thinking, why? Why don't you just do it? So, yeah, that's another thing. I've noticed that some restaurants bring you a container.
Right.
Like yesterday when we went to have brunch at the Plaza Hotel.
Yeah.
And it was the best breakfast I ever had, by the way.
It was ridiculously good. Holy crap, that was a good breakfast.
There was just some crazy, unique, insane shit on that menu. And then there are places that will take your plate with them and bring you back the food in the container.
Which do you prefer?
I think the first number of times that I was brought a container, I was insulted. Like, why am I doing work? Like, that's your job.
Right.
But then I also noticed that on many occasions, like I would separate things on the plate, like I don't want this, I do want this, and don't let these two things run into each other because this thing has sauce and this thing is, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want like the bread to get soggy if it fell into this part, so I wanted to make sure it was done right.
Yeah.
So then I started changing into liking doing it myself because that way I at least know that it's done right and I get all the stuff on the plate that I want because then I was worried, did they just scrape it quickly and leave some behind? So
yeah, a lot of times they just kind of scrape it off the plate and it all like kind of hits the thing together.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind really. I just kind of like turn everything. I don't really care if it all mashes together. It doesn't make a difference to me. It's all going to the same place.
But I do. Sometimes there's like a sauce on a fish or something, and that's not necessarily meant to go on a side dish that was there. If there's like salad or something, and you don't want them touching. So. I mean, there's not really. I mean, there's a reason.
You know what? I'm more interested in the fact of what goes on back there in the kitchen while they're putting, my food into the box.
Right.
What else might accidentally get put into that box, or maybe something.
Or did they neglect to?
Maybe something hit the floor and it wound up back in the box anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least I can control what happens to that food.
Yeah.
So I'm almost like, just bring me the box.
You know what I think would be a nice thing?
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Oh God. Okay, Brad Pitt.
It was such a good movie.
What the fuck movie was that? 7?
7,
yeah. When they brought him Gwyneth Paltrow's head in the box, his wife. So I think what would be nice, really, is for the waiter or waitress to ask you, would you like me to put it in the box or would you like me to bring you the container? That way you can't lose.
Yeah.
If you want them to do it. And, I think that the tip shouldn't be based upon whether or not they do it, because the tip was really for the service, of bringing you the food and clearing off the table.
Right. I don't necessarily think that the what goes on or what goes into the box should be relevant to the tip. By then the meal is over, and that's just like what you couldn't fit into your fat face. So, and you want to jam it back in when you get home. So that shouldn't be relevant to what tip. By that time, they've already provided their service.
Right.
Yeah, you're on the way out the door, and they basically just want to get rid of you so they can take the next table and make another tip. So.
Right, yeah. I mean, they want the quick turnover.
Which, by the way, is really annoying when you're in a restaurant and you've waited for a reservation.
You waited and waited for your table.
And you get there, and then, you can get the feeling toward the end.
They're all staring
where
at
they're sweet as pie and they're nice. And they're working that tip and working everything. They did a great job, but then all of a sudden it goes to it's kind of like after you finish when you're having sex, you're like, all right, I'm good, I'm done.
All right, get off.
All right, get off. Right? Yes, that's it. I'm good.
That was me last night. Okay.
Yeah, you were totally like that last night. You're like, all right, get off me. You were good though last night because you didn't. I could totally tell you wanted you were tired. We were both tired. We both just got traveling, the whole day and everything. You really didn't want any part of it, and I didn't blame you. I actually didn't either. I was exhausted, but just the other part of me had to have it. The big head was saying oh man, go to sleep. You're exhausted, dude.
Yeah.
And then the little head was like, oh no,
we had a long day of travel. I felt a little bit nauseous.
You even were saying that to me. You were like, I'm kind of nauseous. And I'm like, all right, can we do it? I totally didn't even care. I just didn't even listen to you.
No, you didn't at all.
You're like, I'm not feeling so good.
And you kept putting your hands on me all over. And I'm like, more you were touching me, the more sick I was feeling.
You know what was so funny, though? It was like I was watching my hand do that. And I'm like, I don't even know why I'm doing that. It was like my hand was had a mind of its own. I just had I had to have it. You know?
And the more you were touching me, the more annoyed I was feeling.
And then I kept thinking, you know what? If she actually rolls over and lets me do this, I'm so fucking tired that I don't even know if I can really do it. But I just wanted to do it. So then it's be careful what you wish for, because then now I'm going to be in it, and it might have been man, I actually am really tired, you know. But by then, then you got to keep going.
Yeah.
So you were good though. You're a trooper, man. You were like, all right, just get it done quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I told you. I know. I don't.
Which I did.
I'll always say yes to you.
Yeah.
I am one of those people that I believe that.
You even pretended that you were into it, and I totally know you were pretending. Yeah. I could tell when you pretend. I could totally tell when you're pretending.
What Was I a good actress?
Yeah. Fucking, that was some Academy Award shit, man. If I was, I would have nominated you. Yeah. That was great. I was like, wow, she's really working it, even as exhausted as she is. And I know she wants no part of this right now.
Nope.
Yeah, you're a good wife.
No, but yeah, I love you.
I actually almost felt bad for a second, and then I didn't. But, but for a minute, I was like, wow, she's like nauseous. She's hot. She doesn't feel good. She wants to go to sleep. And
yep.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'll always say yes.
Props to you, wifey.
Because I love you.
Yeah. Yes. You absolutely. You were true. I
want to make my husband happy. I'm one of those.
And you did.
Whatever I got to do.
And you did. Yeah. And you even pretended as if you were happy too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Convincing, yep. I might add.
Yep. Yeah. Somebody had said, I was talking to an old friend this past week who I hadn't spoken to since right before we were together, and she was telling me that her girlfriend, who I'm no longer friends with, was watching our show last year and made note of the fact how I had to change myself for you, or had to change everything about myself. I guess she was like basing it on how I looked as compared to before we were together. And I said, you know what? Yeah, like, I love him so much. He's so good to me. I don't give a shit. I'll change whatever if it'll make him happy. Like, I said he fell in love with me with dark hair, no boobs, and a huge fat ass. Like, you know, I don't care that's something you like. Short of, like, you know, majorly getting transformative plastic surgery to change my face. Right. You know, like, I don't. If you like my hair blonde better than dark, it's really not much of an effort.
I love you no matter what. Either way, you're right.
I know that.
When I met you, you looked very different. You've had a lot of different looks, and you work them all well. So.
Yeah, I know. And it's not a big effort for me to give you what you like.
It's funny how people will comment on that, right? And they're like, oh, well, she had to change
everything. Like, it's an insult.
Yeah, like she had to change everything, and like, you know, and
it's like, oh, no, I didn't have to change anything.
Right.
I wanted to do. If you like something, if you say you look great with blonde hair, okay, let's try that out.
Well, let's not forget the biggest biggest change, which for people that know you or maybe that don't know you so well, before you were with me, you were with a woman. So it's like, right. You know, so now, of course, all of your girlfriends, in air quotes, would be like, oh, wow, you know, that's not really who she is. Really? Well, then who is she?
Remember how that fucking friend of mine stopped being my friend when I started being with you?
Yeah, well, because, you know, most of the girls' club members are, like, you know, pretty much man-haters.
Some of them. No, I wouldn't say all, but she was one of those that was all about the type of friend that would no longer be my friend because I was with a man, right. Which to me was like reverse discrimination. Like, you don't want people to discriminate against you because you're with a woman, but you'll discriminate against somebody because they're with a man.
Right.
You know what I mean? But anyway, so the ironic story about that is that she and my friend are no longer together because she cheated on her with a man. Yeah.
Listen.
So not only did she cheat, like she was like, you know, holding it against me that I was with you, but she also did it with a man. So everything I did,
right.
She did.
Right.
But can't be friends with me anymore because I did it. Like, fuck you. I was a loyal friend to her when her other ex broke up with her and was with somebody else. I stayed a loyal I'm the best fucking friend.
Right.
Fuck you, traitors.
Well, there you go. I mean, just proof to show you that, you know, you can't outdo the real thing. You know, batteries can only go so far. You know, then you got to change it.
No.
Come on now.
Nope.
Come on now.
You men sometimes have these ridiculous ideas of how things are in women's relationships.
Well, I don't know about how
you don't know.
I don't know about how women's relationships are.
Exactly.
I know what happens when we're together.
It's got nothing to do with batteries or needing a dick. I was over a decade without a dick, and I was 100% fine with that. And
right.
If there was no more dicks on the planet, I would have been fine with that too.
But there is.
And yeah, you're a dick.
There's one right here sitting across the table from you.
A big dick.
That's right.
You're a dick.
That's right. All 235 pounds of them. Now take it and shut up.
It had nothing to do with, we all know, everybody who's heard the story already. I mean, you know what? There's somebody who actually asked us, who's the guy's name? Let me see if I can find his name. Somebody had asked us, how did we meet? And I'm like, listen back to, there's like how many episodes we had spoken about that. Not on our podcast.
We've talked about that on a lot of
briefly on a lot of different podcasts,
many different interviews, and yeah.
I was on for crying out loud Lynette Corollas podcast twice, and on the first one I spoke in detail about how we met, right. And then on our last appearance on the Adam Carolla show, we got into a lot of in depth about that as well.
Right.
So. Just to not get boring or just reiterate the same thing, y'all can listen to those episodes of their podcast.
Yeah.
If you have any other type of specific questions, we'd be happy to answer. We have a lot of stories to tell that we still haven't told. I think we're like holding back some stuff.
Well, I mean, they kind of, it's got to be organic. They come out like, when they come out, when the time is right. We don't sit down here with a script, and we never sit down and ever say, what are we going to talk about? It kind of just happens, and I think that's why people like listening to this show, because
I'll write a couple notes like, oh yeah, I saw this in the news, I saw that in the news, or whatever, but as far as our regular conversation,
usually you write down just the things that I did that pissed you off during the week so you can remember to yell at me.
Right. Oh, and I have a couple,
on the air.
I have a couple of random thoughts, too, that I'm going to do before we finish up.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah. I just wanted to get to one thing, a question that somebody had asked a couple of times ago. Stacy Baxter, she's actually a really nice listener as well. She sent me some people, they just write nice email or messages, and I have back and forth with them quite a bit, and she's one of them. So thanks for all the nice feedback, Stacy. She asked if we had any tips on dog allergies. She has a little Chihuahua. He has big eyes like Milo, Chihuahua, but she has no hair around them because she's rubbing her eyes.
Okay.
So she said Benadryl's not working. So basically it's very similar with people. Allergies are caused by allergens, which then causes histamine to come out in your body, and that's why you take an antihistamine. So with dogs, there's actually a lot of things that can cause allergies that you wouldn't even realize, besides just like dirt and pollen. Right now, oh my God, right, Skip, the pollen this time of year?
Well, here, I don't know about like where it is, where you guys are listening from, around the world or anywhere else, but it's like pretty much everything is blanketed in a yellow powder. So when you walk out to your car in the morning, the entire car is under like what looks to be a yellow sheet.
Yeah, everything's covered in it.
And
everything.
that happens every year here around this time of the year. And it lasts for about a month, maybe a couple weeks, maybe.
And it's daily.
And then it stops. But it's really super. And you can see it in the air, and you can certainly see it. Now, you can go out there and wash your car and come back an hour later, and that car again will be covered in yellow powder.
Yeah,
to where if you were to wipe your hand across it, your hand would be completely covered in a layer of yellow powder.
Yeah.
That's how thick it is. So it's in the air, which means it's in your eyes, it's in your lung, throat, and everywhere else. And that's, it's really bad around here this time of year. Especially we have all these pine trees and stuff, which they kick out a lot of blowing around in the wind and stuff. It's like a giant dust broom.
My dust what?
It's like a picture, like a feather duster, right?
Yeah.
If you were to shake it, right, and all the dust that's in it.
Yeah.
Well, these pine trees, like 100-foot pine trees, we have all around this whole town, our whole neighborhood. If you watch those things in the wind, they sway back and forth, and they every single needle blows a lot.
Yeah.
They give off a lot of pollen. There's a lot going on in those, and I think that certainly where we are, there's so much vegetation, there's so many trees.
Yeah. Well, my point with what I was bringing up with the dust and the pollen is that there are other things that cause allergies in dogs and their eyes in particular that you wouldn't even think of. You wouldn't even realize that those are things that cause allergens. Antihistamines actually just treat the symptoms. So you should always try to use an antihistamine and maybe even a prescription one from your vet for their eyes. But the other thing, in addition to the symptoms, is trying to find out the cause. So just keep in mind that there's other things that can cause the eye allergies. That includes dairy products, food, things that are in food, sometimes like additives or like preservatives that they put in foods. Like if you get food at Trader Joe's, they don't have any preservatives. My cats love their canned cat food, by the way. It's really good stuff. Corn is a big known of as an allergen. Flea bites. Flea bites can definitely cause the hair loss and allergic reactions, and insect bites. You know what? Just today, oh my God, today we found a tick, an eensy teeny weeny tick on Harley's forearm, and I was able to safely remove it. It looked like it had only been there maybe a day or two. I lit a giant match and then blew it out and quickly put the hot tip onto the tick, and it backed out. And I burned it. So then as I was cleaning up after the match, I had an itch on my inner ankle. And I reached down, I scratched it, and I fucking scratched off a tick that was on me. I've never had a tick on me ever before, ever. And I was just like, now I'm like in total like, holy shit, I hope I don't get Lyme disease. Panic.
Yeah, that's serious stuff.
Yeah. And because it hurt a little bit. And it was like a big red spot afterwards, and it itched a lot. So and now it seems to have gone down, but it was like really fucked up. So I put stuff on the dogs today so that to keep the fleas and the ticks.
Yeah, now is definitely the season.
Away.
Go out and get the Frontline.
Yeah.
A couple different products that you could put on your dog that will basically keep.
What
the
happens
ticks
if we put that stuff on our head? Like, will it?
I don't think that's something you might want to experiment with.
I don't know.
You'll wake up with like a third eye or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe you should read the instructions on. They probably have something of the sort. I would imagine. I don't know, but
I don't know. But I'm just worried now. We're gonna have to keep.
They have sprays and things that you can put on yourself, like when you're camping and stuff like that
repel ticks.
Yeah,
that's actually a good idea. We've never had a problem here with that. But Skip found one in his slipper last week.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was outside and I felt something crawling in my leg. I thought it was like, it's a little bug, whatever. And I kind of like smacked it off my leg and it fell down into my shoe. And then I looked at it in the shoe, and sure enough, it was. And
you know what? That one that fell into your shoe, at first I thought it was one, because we have a lot of little teeny tiny spiders that walk really, really fast. And then the first thing I said to you was, I'm like, oh, it's one of those little fast spiders.
That's fast spider.
Because they walk really they run. So I noticed that tick had a white dot on its back. I'm looking right now on Google on my phone to see if a deer tick has a white spot on its back. The one that I had on me today and Harley did not have a white dot. And now I'm looking at, I don't see anything with a white dot on its back, actually. What the fuck was that, people? If somebody knows what that was with the white dot, let me know.
Maybe it just had some...
Well, it didn't attach itself to you. It was just in your slipper.
Maybe it just had something white on its back, like it picked up...
No, it looked like a perfectly symmetrical, like, little white spot on its back. What is this here? See? It's hard for me to tell. On these pictures, I can't tell if it's a flash, on these pictures of the tick or what. But because now that my eyesight is going and I can't see shit, I had to put on my glasses to take the tick off of her.
CSS syndrome?
Look at these marks on these people's skin, like a big red circle after taking the tick off.
Wow.
Oh, shit, man.
Yeah, you don't want to get bitten by ticks.
No.
They have sprays and stuff you can put in your yard. Also, we have a bag of like a granular. I'm actually going to put it down today. I had purchased it a while back when I got grass seed and fertilizer and all that for the lawn. And you put it in your spreader, and you just spread it out onto the lawn, and then you turn the sprinklers on, and you immediately wash it down, and it goes down into the soil. And that's supposed to kill fleas and ticks, and on the bag it actually has pictures of like every kind of
really?
fucking scorpions, like everything you could imagine was the thing. We don't have any scorpions around here, but like spiders and like everything, grubs. Yeah.
Oh, so that's what you're doing today.
Oh yeah.
Look at this.
That's my exciting day.
It's a tick with a white dot on its back.
Well, there you go. Is that some sort of special kind of tick?
I don't know, but at least it wasn't stuck to you. I'm just hoping that I don't end up with Lyme.
Why does it have a white dot?
There's different types of ticks. All different types. So I'm just scrolling through all these ticks now. So that I'm just saying.
All right. Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, with your dog eyes, Kilo had the same thing. Kilo lost. Remember, he lost all the hair around his eyes.
Yeah.
And it grew back, and then it went away, and it came back, and he had his eyes were watery. I don't think I ever quite discovered what it was because he had eye problems to begin with. He was always on drops. But just keep in mind, try changing some things also, so maybe it'll make him less sensitive and the more.
Well, I imagine they probably also have allergy tests that you could take your dog just like for people and
not
find...
for the eyes.
No, but I mean, they probably have ways of testing to dogs to see if there's something that they're allergic to.
Well, they do. They have tests like that.
So maybe that's what you do
tests.
then. Yeah, so go get your dog blood test and have an allergy test done, and they'll probably be able to figure out if it's something that is food-based or if it's, what it is.
Yeah, that couldn't hurt.
And then maybe you can remove whatever that problem is from his environment.
Yeah. So
try that, Yeah,
try that. So you know what I was just also thinking of with Father's Day coming up? Oh, and you have on the 16th, you're going to be on Fox and Friends again, right?
All right, yeah. Another Fox and Friends morning show segment.
It's
a Thursday the 16th.
Awesome.
Yep. This coming Thursday.
You know what I was thinking about? Well, every time a holiday comes up and we're like, we haven't gone to the store yet to get a card, it occurred to me that there was something that people could do if you're just as clever as me. You can go to the store, go to the card store, go to a Hallmark store where they have like a huge selection of good cards. Take your cell phone with you. And when you get in there, take a snapshot of the insides of the cards that you like. And then, are you listening, Skip?
I'm listening, yeah.
You're not paying attention.
I'm listening.
Take a picture of the cards that you like. And then make a card. Make a card, like hand write a card, and share the sentiment that you photographed inside the card store without having to buy that $7, $8, $9 card in the card store, because now they're so fucking expensive.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
There's also like e-cards and stuff that you can get.
Those suck.
Some of them,
they're so hard to find a good one.
That's true. You got it's picture going to the card store and there's thousands of cards you got to visually look through. But then when you do it online, you got to flip through.
And there's a much smaller selection of good ones online. I found. I've used Blue Mountain and Hallmark and American
kind of
Greetings.
Cheesy though. Some of those you need to find like a site that has some cool cards.
So that's why but I'm saying go to the store.
Maybe that's it. Maybe there's like a site called Cool Cards. I don't know.
All right.
I would imagine. Right?
Anyway, what I'm saying is even better. Go find cards that you like in the store. Take a picture of the sentiment, and then create your own card. I mean, that's no big deal. Because it feels more heartfelt if it's handwritten, and then you don't have to pay for it. And you can say something nice to the person that you love without having to keep buying cards. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
Okay. So I have some random thoughts.
Good.
Yeah. I don't know if they're even any good because sometimes I'm just an idiot.
Well, that's the whole idea of being random, right? You never know what you're going to get.
Okay. So let me see what I got here. They're just random thoughts that go through my head.
Alison's brain is working overtime. Could be while she's driving or standing in line. So what is she thinking? What goes through her thoughts? Is it something profound or fucking just pissed her off? Get ready for random thoughts. Get ready for random thoughts.
I can't stand when people are talking or chewing gum while they're getting their picture taken.
That was you.
That means you, Skip.
Let me guess.
Well, okay, so I had that thought more than once. I forgot that it was a random thought.
Yeah, well, evidently, you already brought that up.
Yeah, that's like when you buy a shirt and then you forgot you already own it and you buy it again and you get home and you realize, oh my God, I loved it twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the difference is that you keep both of them. That's why you have like a closet full of things with tags on them.
Right. Exactly. Well, this time you annoyed me twice.
That's it? That's a good day then. That's light.
Listen, people, stop driving over the already dead animals and flattening them out. Pull over, get a shovel, take a plastic bag or something, and move them out of the way.
Yeah, get a shovel.
What the fuck?
Let me just pull the shovel out of the trunk. Everybody keeps a shovel in their trunk, don't they?
You know what?
Along with the wheelbarrow?
Like the little shovel that you keep in your trunk for when you have snow, like we bought that little one at the auto store.
Yeah, for all of our listeners in Arizona, you know what we're talking about.
Fuck you. Asshole.
Keep the fold-up snow shovel in your trunk.
Or just plastic bags, like the grocery store plastic bags. Right. Something where you can pick up the dead animal.
No, that's a good idea. I think everybody should keep some plastic bags in their car because you never know when you're going to need a plastic bag.
Yeah.
It comes in handy for a lot of different things.
Yes. I told you about that cat a few weeks ago. I moved it to the side. It just got killed. It was so sad. It was still spazzing out.
That is true, though. You see a lot of animals on the road, and you could tell they've been driven over hundreds of times.
Yes.
It's just basically like a pancake.
Right. And so if it's not a pancake, you know what I'm saying, and it's like a fresh kill, move it over. Have some respect.
Or some sort of, like something resembling a pizza.
If it was your baby, you wouldn't want people going over it again and again and again. Just move it out of the way. That's all. It doesn't take any but 2 minutes. Lazy bastards.
Okay, so I have a couple of things listed on Craigslist. Why the fuck is every moron asking me where the item is located when it clearly says it on the listing? I hate people.
Everybody wants to know where the fucking item is. Okay, so first now, Let Go, it's in the listing. And in Craigslist, it's in the listing.
What do you mean where it is? Like the location?
Yes!
Or just the town, right?
Yes!
Yeah.
There is a field for that I always fill out. It's like people just look at the picture and then click question. Like if they're wondering that, why don't you read the listing, moron? Fuck, people are annoying the shit out of me. All right, well, as you can tell, I don't have a lot of thoughts going through my head.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks so much for sharing all of that with us.
Hey, those thoughts were random.
Yeah.
I had a busy week, you know.
Very random.
Shut up. I had a very busy week. My thoughts weren't very deep.
It's okay.
Anyway.
A lot happened this week. Definitely a lot coming up this week. Check out the Fox thing I'm doing on Thursday. That's going to be great. I'm going to have some really great gift ideas for Dad that you guys can pick up either on our site from our links or right in the store. And what else we got going on this week coming up? Any other exciting stuff? A lot going on with the project here, the remodel at the house, which we're going to take some new... Actually, this week coming up is when we're going to be doing all the finishing of the wood on the beams and things like that. So we're going to be filming the
faux finishing. We're going to be doing like
basically
staining.
taking some rough sawn lumber and making it look like it's really old, distressing it and staining it and kind of beating it up. So show you some of those techniques. So keep an eye out for that stuff. And, of course, you know, hey, we love you guys, and thank you for coming back every week. Tell your friends about Hammer Nails Podcast, too.
Do us a favor. Go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating.
Even if you only think we're worth, like, 2 stars?
Yeah,
just give us the 5-star.
Because it's a nice thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, it helps us out a lot. But please use our Amazon banner and also on our website if you wanted to make a contribution towards the podcast, because we don't make any money on this thing. It just costs us a lot to do it. If you can go to the PayPal link on our website, if you felt like making a small contribution, we would very much appreciate it. There are people who have done so who are helping us out every month, and we really appreciate that more than we can say. We're very thankful. We don't take anything for granted, and most of all, we don't take you guys for granted, because without you, there's no podcast.
Yeah, thanks so much again for coming back each and every week, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.